Hey, it's Marni. Is your computer running slow? Well, mycleanpc.com can clean it up and speed it up today. Now, you might be asking yourself, how did my computer get this way? It's freaking frustrating, right? Well, opening infected small attachments, downloading music and games can slow your computer down. Over time, running these programs can cause junk files, internet clutter, processor, and hard drive errors to build up on your computer. MyCleanPC can help. First, go to mycleanpc.com and in minutes, you can get a free computer diagnosis and find out what's slowing down your computer. Then simply activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk, internet clutter, and even remove viruses. And MyCleanPC is guaranteed to increase the speed of your computer. I promise you. With MyCleanPC, there are 2 easy steps to speed up your computer. First, go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. Then simply activate MyCleanPC software to optimize your computer performance. Go to mycleanpc.com today and find out what's slowing down your computer. That's mycleanpc.com. Go there now.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
PodcastOne.com presents the Ask Women Podcast. A place where 2 comics and a professional wing girl get together to dissect the female mind.
You don't know how I feel.
And explain it to men in terms they can actually understand. Boobs. Now, here's the lovely ladies of Ask Women.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ask Women Podcast, where you get real advice straight from the source. I'm Kristen Carney, comedian, host, etc., whatever, confused. Of course, we're here with Marni Kinrys, the best-selling author and relationship expert.
And owner
and over the Wing Girl Method.
Over the Wing Girl Method?
Yeah, whatever. You're confusing me. And then we have Mike Carano today with us.
Yes, thank you.
Who is a very funny photographer.
Oh, and has lots of stamps.
You're welcome to them.
Yes.
This is like giving away cash almost.
It is literally giving away cash.
Yeah.
Pathetic way of doing it.
Yeah. I went to the post office yesterday. I had an issue with the postwoman.
Their service?
Oh, of course.
Everything that happens within the confines of the post office?
And I understand why some post offices have like the glass in front of them, because it's like you do want to murder them. They're
they're not very nice people.
My problem with the post office is that they don't have any directions explicitly outside of the tellers,
right,
to be able to figure out how to package something.
I've been going to the post office. Well, I was just going to count myself as special because I've been going to the post office for a long time. But
it's changed.
It is always, why can't they do a single friggin' transaction without going in the back room? Like, I'll go, I need to ship this, and this, and then the guy just walks in the back room.
Because
like, what's in the back? Like, why are they leaving every time?
They need to take a swig of alcohol to get through it, probably.
Did you read that Bukowski book, Post Office?
No.
It's just kind of like a diary of when he worked for the Postal Service.
Oh, God.
And it's just what you said.
Yeah.
It's just alcohol?
Essentially having sex with one of his customers as he delivered the mail.
What?
And just boozing all
so it sounds
day,
like a fun place to work.
He said he loved it, and he said he would have done that for the rest of his life and been completely satisfied if he had not become an author.
Really? In LA, I would think it would be the best job. You walk around all day, you give gifts to people.
The thing is, you have to deal with people, and I couldn't think of anything worse in the world.
You don't really have to deal with people. Like, if you're delivering mail, occasionally you have a little social interaction, and then now and then you're going to come across a crazy person that's going to want to sleep with you. Now and then. I'm sure it's not
weird.
I'm sure it happens quite often.
Because it's like the name Postman, it's like almost sexy in a way. Like
Don't even try to figure out why.
It must be a fetish. I bet you it's a thing. But
imagine you're like a lonely person sitting at home, and then the postman comes by every day, and he's like makes small talk, and then one day you're like, screw it.
I always make the joke. I always say to people, like, okay, sit on your butt and continue what you're doing, not making any effort to get outside and socialize. But if your dream person is like the UPS delivery person, then sit tight. And so for some people, that must be their thing. They're like, oh, the USPS person. That's
Do you think it's
totally
the man in uniform thing, or actually the post office?
No, because that uniform doesn't have like the dignity of like a fireman's uniform.
The Marines?
It's just like he's a driver
for some people.
Maybe, but they have no standards.
I don't want to fully bash the post office, but I will say that I same as you, I get very frustrated when I go up and I'm like, how do I do? I don't go to the post office that often.
They don't have a list.
And then they're just
saying,
like, they roll their eyes
priority.
at you.
This is the cost for getting there. And I know it's more complicated and convoluted than that, but I basically walked up to the woman, the teller, not bank teller, whatever they are.
I don't know, a post worker.
And I asked a question, and she had already said the answer to it in like a description before I was even thinking to ask that question.
Yeah.
So
to you or to somebody else?
To me, because we were talking about something else.
So she was going to be condescending after that?
Yeah, so then I asked it again, and she was like, I already told you. And I was like, I don't know when you told me. And so that...
I wasn't listening because you're a fucking... I'm sorry.
No, you can swear.
you can
swear all you want.
Don't you want to be
like, I'm not delivering
back to those
mail.
type of people? But you know you really can't, because then it makes you the bigger.
Well, no,
Well, they're not going to send your stuff.
No,
yes,
but
that's what I'm nervous about. That I just told my sister, I said, I just put your birthday present in the mail. Don't be surprised if it doesn't get there. I had an issue with the post office lady.
I had the issue with FedEx, and FedEx is normally fantastic. But I walked in. The FedEx on the corner of Laurel and Ventura is the worst ever. They act like everything's an imposition. Really? And I come in there with everything ready to go, and I go, "This is ready to go," and I leave it there, and the guy goes, "You got to get in line." I went, "It's ready to go." You got to get in line. I went, "Fuck!" I literally said, "Fuck that," and I set it down and walked out. And then I made a recording,
somewhere else.
And I was like, "This package is probably not going to get there, but I'm just letting it."
Right.
Well, you know what I did today? Okay, so I didn't know where there was a UPS that was local, so I tried to find a truck. So I drove around on Wilshire looking for a truck. There happened to be one. So he was inside making deliveries in this like huge building. I parked in front of it in a red zone, and I waited until he got back to the truck, and then I handed it to him.
This reminds me when you went to the actual Google building to ask them a question about Google.
I love that.
They would not let
right
me
over
in.
here?
Yeah,
No, in Venice. They would not let me in, but they would let me ask questions through the buzzer at the front door.
What was the question?
I forget what the question was. It was something about like advertising or like pay-per-click. So I had lots of questions at that point.
It's difficult
I had to narrow it down.
It's difficult when you go onto their website to actually find that information. You have to go deep in there. And I'm like, AdWords? Is that advertising?
Right.
Is this advertising?
Right.
There's like
you would think you could Google the answer.
They really
but
should have a
obviously you
helpline.
cannot.
They really should.
They don't. They will very
This is
soon because
fantastic
they are
that we're
going to start doing not cyber optics, whatever it is that you can actually get internet and be your internet provider. So they will have a phone company soon.
We
that you
are
can contact
complaining
them on.
about what's essentially magic.
Yes, that is true. We should be very
There's
happy
this
to
free
receive
thing
Louis
that gives us
CK
an
would not
answer
be
to
happy.
any question that we'll ever have. It's right there immediately.
But isn't that
in
the
triplicate,
irony?
And we're
is
pissed
that-
about it.
But isn't that the irony? It's like any question you have ever is right there, but yet you can't ask a question.
You can't ask them anything.
It's
I know,
very-
that is kind of funny.
yeah.
I do want to make a segue for this because we are the Ask Women podcast, and we don't typically talk about the mail delivery systems. We could for an entire episode, but
I thought you meant MALE.
Oh yeah, ooh, that's actually
Women
good.
mail.
Ooh, that should
But
be a
I
segment.
am going to tell a story about being picked up and hit on at the post office because I was hit on at the post office, and it was I'm not even tell a story. I'm just going to say it is another place to interact and pick up women.
By
That is
saying picked
actually-
up, that sounds like it went
Pick
to
up now.
fruition. Hit on sounds like someone just hit on me, but picked up means you got in someone's car.
No, I did not get in
And it was
someone's
a little
car.
white Jeep
But I had a very
with the
nice
steering wheel on the right
exchange with a
side.
very cute guy. Actually, he wasn't really even that cute, but he was super funny. And I felt butterflies in my stomach, blushed a couple of times. Yeah. And we were just standing in line because it takes like half an hour to get through the post office
Yeah.
line. But I'm just saying it's a great place to possibly meet women. Opportunities are around you at all times.
I don't know if it's a great place because you go in there with a negative attitude.
But then you could have
That's
a
like the DMV.
But that could be your bonding moment where you're like, oh God, great, we're at the post office again. Then you can go into the whole banter we just had about exchange. There's so much conversation to be had about how annoying the post office is. And then the woman behind the desk hears you, and then neither of your packages get delivered, and then it's a whole
Yeah.
thing
And then
at the
you
wedding that
bond
you
over
talk
your common
about.
hatred of that person behind
Yes.
the desk.
Exactly.
You know what actually was
Exactly.
interesting is that speaking of people not being happy at the post office, when
Yeah.
I left, this man, he looked like Larry David to me, so I was very enthralled. He was like an older guy.
I do that too. I saw some guy that looked like Miles Davis, and I was kind of like, it better be nicer to Miles.
Yeah.
It's not Miles Davis.
Like I act
This guy's
faux
nothing that
Miles
Miles
Davis.
Davis had.
Yeah, like I act like he's the actual
Yeah.
celebrity. So he held the door for me, but he did it with his elbow really up high, so he's definitely a germaphobe. And I was like, oh, okay, not Larry. And then he jumped up the stairs, like, because you have to go upstairs to exit to get back to the driveway. And he jumped and did like a dance move, and then like snapped his fingers,
He's Gene Kelly.
basically. And anyway, I was like, wow, that guy really likes the post office.
He was just happy.
Obviously.
Maybe he got a check.
That's true.
Maybe his visit was the opposite of mine today to go pay IRS bills,
Oh, probably.
where I felt like I was going to faint because I can't handle pressure.
Yeah.
Chicks dig that.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I want to make another segue now because you just said chicks dig that. But apparently, now, I don't know this firsthand, but Kristen has told me you are a stud with younger women. You date younger women, and I think that dating
I
younger
definitely
women.
did not use the word stud.
I'm
just-
definitely not a stud.
I said
you
he's
date
cynical.
younger women. So I think that for today's chapter in the man's playbook, we are going to talk about dating younger women.
Okay.
Man's playbook.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know a lot about it.
Art plays
So I was
music.
waiting for the wing girl minute, so I had that.
Oh,
We
shit.
forgot about the wing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Are you horny to win?
Don't worry about that.
are you horny to win? Are you horny
Does it
to
involve
win?
sports?
Crazy, right? Okay, so tell us about dating younger women.
I don't know if I'm the person to talk about this with,
Well, get the
because
hell off
I've
our
only
show.
dated like 1 or maybe 2 younger women.
How
My
much
girlfriend
younger?
of 7 years was 43. Pretty young.
And how old were you at the time?
Okay, here's the thing.
Was she an older
You're not
woman?
43.
I'm 47. I'm a gentleman.
Oh, you're 47?
And I am not one of these guys that has the notch on the belt fantasy, because if I did, well, partially because I probably have tons of sexual hang-ups.
Right.
I'm just as horny as the next guy, but I can't really follow through on a lot of situations because
Yeah.
I'm terrified of all of it. But if I just wanted to go out with 18 or 19-year-olds, I'm super, super fortunate, because for some reason they like me. It might
Okay.
be some weird dad replacement. It might be some funky. It could also be.
You're a comfortable person. Like, you're comfortable to be around. You're easy to
But
talk to.
It could also be a lot of it could be the connection to Loveline and stuff, because I'm friends
Right.
with Dr. Drew, and then those listeners start becoming my listeners, and then they start sending me messages. In fact, I had something great happen. Not
What?
great, terrible.
What?
Oh God. Should I even- okay.
Say it.
So I get a lot of messages from. God, that sounded so douchey.
You can't not sound douchey.
Okay, I get a lot of
sometimes
messages
on
from
our
a lot of
podcast.
kids, guys and girls alike. A lot of them from girls. Some girl who I thought was a guy I work with screwing with me started sending me messages, and I went, "Yeah, thanks, Anderson. Thanks, Anderson. Thanks, Anderson." And
Anderson
finally,
Cooper?
she goes, "I just want to
No,
send you a
no.
I'm kidding.
picture." Yeah, it's Anderson Cooper sending me naked pictures.
Right, exactly.
So she started sending me naked pictures of herself.
Oh, my God.
And her phone number was attached, so I called her a little bit for show, mostly for.
To bust Anderson.
It's 50-50 show, kind of like watch what I'm going to do to somebody, and then kind of like, oh, this is an.
And you were still thinking it was Anderson at this point.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, and I called her and I yelled at her about sending naked pictures over the internet.
good for you.
And I genuinely went, you don't understand. I go, what if I wanted to? What if you meet some guy and you start sending me
Yeah.
pictures because you're enthralled by him? And,
Oh, look at this. You're so responsible.
no, but I'm serious. You should. Never say something on the internet, because no matter who you are. I can have a girlfriend who I adore who sends me stuff, and then if she cheats on me or something, who knows what crazy shit I'm going to pull out of just anger and the moment. Who knows what you're going to do? Don't leave that stuff around. It's personal.
Right.
But
And it's
I
forever.
yelled
I
at
love
her.
that she thinks she's getting like some sexy talk from you, and then
Right.
she gets a full
No,
lecture.
she posted, my chronologist called and yelled at me about sending naked pictures, so she was
Good.
kind of excited about it, and a bunch of other little flattering things. And then Sunday night, driving home from San Diego, I get a message from her. My boyfriend just found all the texts and the pictures. And she was freaking out.
Really?
Yeah.
This girl
And
sounds like an
and her
idiot.
boyfriend's coming after you now.
You want to call her?
Yeah.
Oh, that
right
would be
now.
amazing
Let's do
on
it.
the
You
show.
totally should. Maybe next time.
But that's that's what you get when you do interact with younger girls. I mean, a lot of older women would do that too.
Yeah.
They're the ballsy ladies, but they don't know yet. They haven't had any of these life experiences. So I think guys, when they're dating younger women, are putting aside a lot of their own kind of values or something. I don't know if that came out right, but
the way I see it and the way I break it down is it's an immaturity. It's a severe immaturity, and you're
Yeah.
trying to recapture something you didn't have in high school. Because, as you know, the guys have. Well, I don't know if it ties into when you're young. It's very frustrating when you see people, like if I'm in school and I have a crush on you and you don't pay any attention to me. It's
Right.
very painful and very hurtful. And then eventually, at some point in time, you kind of feel like you're getting back at that in a weird way.
oh yeah, for sure.
You're like, now I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did this several years ago, many years ago now at this point, which is weird. But I did date a kid who was that like skater, young, almost like punky kind of teen, because I didn't do that as a kid, as a teenager, because
Was
the
it
guys
satisfying?
weren't into me. It was satisfying for a little while, but I really actually the whole time felt like very like lonely and not wanted. And so it was a very bad feeling, but I had to get that out of my system because those guys in high school wouldn't date me.
But it
I
wasn't
was always
hurtful?
the third wheel.
Well, are
Yeah.
you
You
trying
know.
to say that it's not a good idea to date younger women, and that there's something wrong with them if they are?
Yeah. I do
Really?
think there's something wrong. I do think it's something lacking big time, because what you don't have is a shared experience.
But let's say you're not looking for a shared experience. Let's say you're looking for an interaction and experience with somebody who is hot, energetic, and still happy about
And
the way that the world
semi-dumb.
works. Her
Yeah.
boobs are still up
Yeah.
without a bra on, has a tight ass, and knows right.
Okay,
and,
you
and
almost got me sold on
yeah,
this.
and knows how to enjoy life because she's not bitter yet. Like I'm just saying from that point of view.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. That's
right.
That would be
That would be absolutely amazing.
My brother dates younger women, and my brother has a really hard time dating. He's very shy and uncomfortable, and he's 38, and he's been dating younger girls like 19, 20, and I always say to him, John, you guys aren't going to have anything in common. She's not going to know anything about your like experience growing up or anything like that, and they have always gone nowhere. But then he went on a date recently with a woman who was 40 and he's 38, and she has like a 20-year-old son, and he was like
Three-way.
Totally. 4-way, I'm coming. But
okay, I'm in.
5-way.
I'm not jumping in on this one.
So he was, he said, we had a lot to talk about and it went really well. And then he said, but she's 40. And I was like, John, you're better than this.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the attitude that you guys are taking on. I think I've told this story before, but I remember at my wedding shower or whatever it's called. Yeah, wedding shower. I remember I was sitting with two of my husband's friends who are women who were talking about one of his friends who always dates younger girls. And they were just talking about how wrong it is, how disgusting it is. And I obviously was taking the opposite point of view, being like, what do you mean? Why is it so wrong? They were so directly offended by the fact that he didn't want to be with somebody that had shared commonalities, that he didn't want to get into a deep relationship, that he wanted to go and have fun still. He's a very wealthy man.
Do you think it was more about they felt threatened because they had passed that threshold? Because I feel that about things, and I'm sure women do as much. I think women have more pressure. Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of women very uncomfortable when they see men their age with women who are younger, because it does feed into some sort of insecurity. So for the guys that write in and say, like, is it okay to date younger women? I always say absolutely. There are no age restrictions except for, 18 and below.
I think the biggest problem, at least what I've seen, and let me just say I hang out with young people.
Yeah.
And
well, you're very young. You have a very young energy. That would make sense.
But it's
but yet wise at the same time.
I think the biggest problem is I know, like I have a friend who I spend a lot of time with, and I know she has experiences to live, and I don't want to be the person that prevents her from dating, making mistakes, having sex with the wrong guy, doing you know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm not the guy to stop that. And I think you need to do that. I think you need to go out and get your heart broken, and I need to see other people and experience darkness. And
well, my husband said that to me too when we first started dating, because he's 10 years older than me, and I was 23 when I met him. He was 33, and he kept. I think it was out of fear for himself that, okay, I'm going to end this in 3 or 4 years because I'm going to want all of these other experiences.
Oh, you thought he was going to watch it, or you?
No. So he thought I wanted all of these experiences that he had before.
I would feel that way too.
The truth is, like, looking back on it, yes, it would have been nice to break up for 2 years, but ultimately end up back with him.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset that I ended up with him, because with him, I've had amazing experiences.
Yes.
There are certain things that we can still explore together. I wasn't the one who was like, okay, I need to fuck like 25 guys before I'm the age of 27. Blah. Like, that wasn't the experience that I wanted for my life. The experience that I wanted, that I hadn't had in the past, was being in a nice relationship with a man who I could potentially see as a long-term partner. And that's what I wanted at that time. Plus, he was super fun. We would do crazy things. We would travel. We'd go to parties. And he taught me a lot of things. So I was getting that experience with him. And on the flip side...
You can't say crazy things and then mention two things that aren't crazy.
Right, exactly.
We're pretty crazy in and out burger sometimes.
I know, exactly. It was nuts. No, but the thing is with him, like... I didn't feel like I missed out on opportunities.
And you know what? You're correct.
Yeah.
And that's mature. And that's interesting that you're that well-adjusted. Not to imply.
I wasn't at the time.
You and I are like,
no, but I wasn't.
I know we're not adjusted. But no, that's a very mature thing. And the person I spend time with now is sort of like that. And you know what? Frankly, as coming from a 47-year-old point of view, getting laid as much as you can, there is no win on that.
Right. Depends.
I mean, maybe like a few people to see what you like, and unless you're more comfortable. Maybe if you're more comfortable than I am, because I'm not. And I just don't think I don't think I've benefited from just random sex. And
I never thought I would as well. And I know we have to probably get to a break in a second, but I have been with my boyfriend since I was 25. I'm 30 now, and I was a really late bloomer, and I had no experiences between the ages of 18 and 25. So anyway, now I am feeling those feelings of, I didn't go out and do all this stuff, and my boyfriend knows that I'm regretting it and knows, but yet we don't have the balls to call it off, so it's this weird tension.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
But that's different, though, because, like, obviously want those experiences.
I do, but we'll talk about that another day. Let's take a break real quick. We have Patti Stanger coming in with us from the Millionaire Matchmaker, and she's got a lot to say about men dating younger women. So we'll talk to her about that when we're back in a few minutes.
Awesome.
All right, bye.
I'm sorry to be so vague.
Hey guys, buying a car is a not so fun experience for most people, and it doesn't have to be. At TrueCar.com, they'll help you get rid of the fear that you may overpay. You know you'll get a fair price because they show you what others paid for the car you're looking for. TrueCar.com analyzes what people are paying for their cars in their market and shares it with consumers so that they never have to overpay. Over 40,000 cars were sold by TrueCar certified dealers just last month. Users see an average savings of $3,046 off MSRP. TrueCar certified dealers go through a certification process, and you work directly with a TrueCar representative that will honor your savings. TrueCar certified dealers believe that truth and transparency are essentials to a better buying experience. First, go to TrueCar.com and find out what others pay for the same vehicle in your market and around the country. Second, register at TrueCar.com to see upfront pricing information and lock in your savings certificate. And the third step is simple. Just print out your certificate and take it to the TrueCar certified dealer for a better hassle-free buying experience. TrueCar has the most comprehensive new car pricing information available and a certified network of dealers that offers a hassle-free car buying experience and negotiation-free guaranteed savings. Support the Ask Women podcast and shop at TrueCar.com.
What is going on? I am Brody Jenner.
And I'm Dr. Mike Dow.
All right, we got a new podcast called Vibe Talk.
It's a fresh take, and we're going to tackle life's biggest dilemma, love.
Yes, you're going to have Dr. Mike Dow, who's a couples therapist. You'll have me, I'm not, but I think I will do a good job. We'll have a different celebrity guest each week joining the conversation. Nothing but love and relationships on Vibe Talk.
And it's coming to Podcast One.
Download Vibe Talk at podcastone.com, podcastone.com.
You're listening to the Ask Women podcast, a Podcast One presentation.
You can't hear me?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ask Women podcast. We're here with Patti Stanger. We have wonderfully technologically advanced headphones, so we're just figuring this out.
We're trying to figure out what's going on. You can hear everything? Okay, good. So you want to get really close on, your experience and stuff.
Real person.
Yes, exactly. You're like, I'm an old hack. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on our show.
No problem.
Well, before we were talking about dating younger women.
Okay.
And I want to hear your
Have you
thoughts.
met Beverly Hills, where you're actually podcasting from?
Exactly.
Okay. Have you looked on the streets of Wilshire?
No, I closed my eyes.
Okay. It's a common thing. It starts from the beginning of time, from prehistoric time. I'm not kidding, caveman time.
Okay.
Where the older, kind of like fiercest, wildest caveman, clan man, whatever you want to call him, picks the youngest, prettiest virgin to procreate with. And so I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make this little nest in this little hut, and I'm going to give you, a good fire, and I'm going to give you, good dinosaur food and all that stuff, and then you're going to procreate.
Good dinosaur food.
So now we take that to this level, and it's the oldest thing is time. When it becomes the reverse, it gets creepy.
It becomes like
it doesn't look natural, and I know it's a double standard, but it doesn't look natural. It's Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher land. It never was going to last.
How has it gotten to that point where it doesn't look natural?
It doesn't look natural. See, in the old days, in the Old Testament days, we're actually podcasting on Passover here. It was very common for a money lender, a very wealthy man, to actually, his wife dies of some kind of disease, horrible disease, because there was nothing to cure it at the time. They'd pick a younger wife. They never went older; they went younger because they needed more children.
Yeah.
The Mormon religion is like that because the more babies you have to be younger, you have to be virile, and then you get into the gateway of heaven. India, very big on that. Some cultures, like for instance in Saudi Arabia, where they do have multiple wives, plural marriage, they go younger. It's the oldest wife is the oldest wife, and then it goes down from there. So it's very common. When it comes to California, it's like, I'm hot, you're rich, let's go. And it's the ultimate exchange. It's a monetary exchange.
So what are the rules for dating younger women? So let's say there's people who are listening to this podcast who are not the rich man.
You need to get your ass to the gym.
Okay.
That's first of all. You need to keep up. If she's under 30, she's going to want to hit the club scene. There's parties du jour, DJs, know your electronic music, know, who Calvin Harris is, and, people like that.
I don't even
know what Coachella. Know what,
like, who the hell is that?
Know what Coachella is.
That I know.
You
And know not to go.
And know that, like,
It's too
you
loud.
can't wear white socks and sandals. I mean, you have to be hip. You got to hit yourself and go over to Barney's and get a cute little outfit. Let her dress you the way he wants.
So do you think that's changing yourself too much?
No,
to do the
I think if you want to pick a younger duckling, then you must be a fierce duck. I mean, you can't just expect yourself to like, oh, I'm old and I'm fat and I'm going to sit on the couch and watch Breaking Bad.
That's so much fun. It's like so real.
But she's gonna come over, eat your food, smoke a cigarette, drink a vodka tonic, and then walk out. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to stay for the whole night, and you're going to be out by 9. And she's going to be hitting the clubs at 11.
But sometimes on your show, you'll say to these guys, you shouldn't date younger women.
Right. I have the floor. The floor is 10 up and 10 above.
Okay.
So 10 years below and 10 years above.
Okay.
If you go past 10, you lose pop culture.
I see.
You don't know, like, I'm in my early 50s, and if I said Steely Dan to you, would you know who that is?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really shocker, because most people who are in their 20s and 30s don't know who that is.
I'm an exception.
So, or, Bruce Springsteen or whatever. And so the question is, can you talk about the favorite TV shows? Can you talk about your favorite movies? Can you talk about your favorite music? If you cannot, she's too young for you.
Right.
And if she's not willing to know your subculture, your 80s subculture, she's too young for you. Stay away. You're dating your teenage daughter. And
So why is it that women are attracted to older men?
We're security.
Is it only security?
We are in the
we don't want
worst.
them to die?
We are in the worst economy right now.
Right.
I don't think Obama's doing it. Sorry, Obama. The last time we had great money was Clinton administration, where everything was bustling up, and you had the Silicon Valley kids coming down here, young kids getting their little girlfriends, and so now the economy's crazy. So now you've got 2 jobs, if not 3 or 4. You might be a single mom taking care of your children. It doesn't look good. Maybe I had my first child at 18, and now I've got a 3-year-old, and I'm 20-something, and now I'm thinking, a 40-year-old man who's set in his ways and has
So
security.
you think that
and
it
a
all
house,
comes down to
homeowner.
finances and exchanges of resources?
And also education and wisdom.
Okay.
I like listening to an older man. I like hearing the ways of the world. When I was your age, I did X. But at the same time, if he doesn't look like my boyfriend who happens to be 8 years younger, I check out sexually. So you first have to be sexually attracted. So what sexually makes a woman attractive? Okay? Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Being 6 steps ahead of the game, being funny, being confident, fierceness,
knowledgeable,
and really knowing who you are as a man, not being Mr. Insecure. I don't care how much money you have. If you're a Mr. Insecure, you're going to be left at the altar every time.
Right.
Okay. So now you're smart. You've got this wisdom going on. You can actually usher in. You're not going to be her preacher and you're not going to be her professor, but you're going to be there to say, honey, the car. Like I'm going through this thing with the car dealership this week, so they're all trying to jack me because I'm the millionaire matchmaker and I'm way too smart because I can figure out for every 1,000, it's $20. Like it's just basic math, right? So I walk in there and they're like, ha 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 ha, little silly girl. My boyfriend walks in and goes, dude, what's the bottom line? And they get scared. And it's just a joke. But if an older man walks in and takes care of this woman to buy a car or to do anything, it's like, wow, that was really. Let's spread now.
Well, Mike was saying that he thinks some women are into him because it's more of a dad thing. Some younger women.
Well, I mean, it's not a dad thing as much as you. Yes, your twisted stripper is going dadville, but
she needs one.
But when you see like the Harvey, Weinsteins of the world who date Marquesa girl and leaves his wife for that, and then she's younger and now she's got 2 babies and a mansion and a big line, and woo, he put me on top. That's sexy. That's super sexy. He ushered me in. Chris Birch did that with Tory Burch. It's like he created my brand. He gave me a life and glamour.
Well, what about outside of California? Because a lot of people who listen to the show are outside of California.
But truth of the matter is, like, it's everywhere.
Okay.
Every town has a multimillionaire who's dating a young chick. Maybe he's widowed. Maybe he's never been divorced. Maybe he's the ultimate bachelor. Look at
But let's say you're the non-millionaire and you want to date younger women. Is that a possibility for you?
It's a possibility if you've got 3 things. You have some cash to take care of her at some point. Like you're responsible with money. You've got good credit. Good credit goes a long way in this day and age. And there's a lot of rich people who have bad credit. Okay. You're a homeowner. You show stability. You have a good job and a good career. You have ambition. Maybe I'm doing this today, but tomorrow I want to do this, and my hobby's going to get me there,
Or you live in Riverside.
Well, there you
or
go.
Ontario.
Right. And number 2, you're fit, you're in shape, and you're sexy. The hotter you are, older you are, the salt and pepper and the sexy you get. The Silver Fox was meant for that. You could have the 20-something girl.
So do you think that there's a limitation? Like, so is there, okay, a guy is 55, he can only go, I know you said 10 up, 10 down.
I don't think, if you're 55 and you go past below 37, 38, you're crazy.
You're crazy?
You're asking
but
for
can
crazy.
you do it?
Because unless you want a child. If you want to go into the early 30s window, which is the estrogen era, okay, sure, go ahead. Go be my
And it's possible.
And it's possible. A lot of my friends are a large age difference. Jill Zarin and Bobby. Big age difference. Her ex-husband couldn't make money, wasn't successful. They had their issues. Here comes Bobby, swoops in, smart as a whip, sexy, older, wiser, and she has this fabulous life. It's probably like under 20, almost about 20.
Okay.
And so when I look at him, he looks our age. He knows music. He's in there where he's dancing. I'm going home, and he's still dancing. And Bobby's sexy. Jill knew what she got when she got Bobby. He was a good husband. He was husband material. What says marriage material better than someone who can keep up with you, is sexy, protects you, and provides? And that's called providership. And if you have that, even though you're not a gazillionaire, that's attractive.
I love these answers, Patty, so thank you for answering
You're
these.
welcome.
But we have a segment called Analyze This, where people write in questions.
This.
Oh, yeah, overanalyze this. We changed it last week because we overanalyzed for hours about one question. But men and women write in questions to us, and then we analyze it.
But my first question is, I wanted to ask you, if I were invited to one of your mixers, what would you change about me?
Your outfit. Let me see. Stand up. Okay, you have this killer kick-ass body. You're grunge today. And so I would totally put you in the sexiest, blackest, shortest dress, put the heels going, give you a little lip gloss, and away you go.
Would I have a chance?
You would totally have a chance. You're totally hot. You know that. You're fooling.
That's why you wanted to ask
She's
on air.
so hot.
She was ready to be
She
like
looks like model
insulted.
hot, and
Of
she's like
course
all
I
grunged
did.
out today with like no makeup on and her black vampire nails, and she's just like,
Isn't that misleading, though, to put you in something you wouldn't
Yes,
normally
it
wear?
is. Because the thing is, I'm so not like a fun
But the thing
black
is, like,
dress
where
person.
is the skin? Do I see the tatas? Do I see your sleeveless great arms that she and I would die for yoga arms like that? I mean, where is it?
Are you saying I don't have good arms?
No, I'm talking about her arms.
I said
So how does someone like me show skin when I'm like, I'm not like I'm not that type of girl.
Okay, you don't have to be less is more. Show one asset and reveal it.
Right.
So if it's legs,
Right.
if it's cleavage,
Right.
if it's arms,
Right. So pick
something
one.
that shows like I got it.
Right.
You don't have to. Less is more. I believe in less is more. I come from the East Coast. We don't just reveal it all out. We are not,
You just told her to wear a black dress to a party.
So what's wrong with a black? An LBD is very classic on the East Coast, New York City.
Yes.
We all walk the streets in black dresses every night, and that is classic city.
Yeah.
So, and that says to someone, "Hey, I'm hot. I know who I am. You have to pay the toll to get me."
Right, and I'm not trying too hard.
No, you're not.
Let's
trying
get the
to-
flip side for guys.
Okay.
What are like things that they can do for their style?
Well, first of all, men have to get a good pair of shoes.
Okay.
I'm all about the shoes. The shoes tell the story. If you go buy a great suit at Barney's, and you're wearing an Armani suit and you got these cheesies like wallabies from year one, I'm not going to date you. Okay?
Right.
Because it tells me someone bought you that suit and you didn't really know how to put it together. So shoes tell the story. But it can be as simple as this. Sexy Converse.
Yes.
When a man wears Converse, I want to jump
My
in,
boyfriend
right?
just got
Same with
Converse.
me.
He's never
Right.
looked better.
Black, white, red. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you got flashing colors on it. I'm into that, right?
It's a pop of personality.
Right. Or a construction worker good boot or a motorcycle boot. I want to jump you. These are not expensive things.
No.
All Saints is for everybody, right? So if I put that on and I put a leather jacket on with a cute T-shirt, very James Deany, and a great pair of pre-washed, really distressed jeans, you're going to get me.
So it's not that difficult.
You're going to get me. Put on a little cologne, smile, get your brights white. And I was like, the teeth is everything to me. If you have jagged, shark teeth, spend your money, put it on your credit card, and get your teeth fixed because your smile is your calling card. And men need to smile more than women. You want to know why? So we know they're not a predator.
Very good.
Yes.
I like this. Good stuff, Patty. All right, so here's the first question. Hi, my name is Chris, and I just started listening to your show after hearing you on Corolla. Very entertaining show and enlightening. Well, I am 50, etc. I don't know what the etc. is. And found 20-something girls. Oh, look at this question that goes along with what we're talking about. And found 20-something girls appear to be very flirtatious with me lately. Hey, who can blame a guy? That's what he said. So my question is, what are you gals, or your gals, what are your thoughts on age differences? We kind of covered that already. We kind of covered that already.
I think when a guy says they're flirtatious, he's probably generous. He's probably buying them drinks at the bar.
Right. Well, he
Because
said
that's
what's creepy. He doesn't want to be creepy. So it wasn't exceptional age gap.
Okay,
You
so he's
talked about
saying,
that
I
before.
don't feel comfortable in my own skin. I don't want to date a 20-something. It's great that they're flirting with me, and he must be very handsome if they're flirting with him.
Yeah.
You don't have to, she doesn't know how much money he has. He doesn't put a sign that says, I'm a millionaire on.
Right.
But at the same time, he likes to stay in his own pond. And that's a man. That's a man. The difference between a boy and a man is a man knows his limitations.
I like it. I want to read the PS because it's a compliment to Kristen. Did I say Kristen is awesome? I know. This is a cheap way to get my email read, but hey, LOL. So Kristen is smoking hot, incredible wit, great banter.
Well, she's single. Let's see what his picture.
Chris.
Reveal the pic.
I know,
babe.
seriously, Chris, send your picture.
Where's the Facebook page? I just want to see that. Okay.
I love it. All right, here's a question from Antonio. Hello, ladies. I recently moved from Southern California to Central California, and I was thinking of a
Bad
woman
decision.
I crushed on when I was in college. She was an instructor of mine during my junior year, and I've always been attracted to her since then. I would notice that she would smile at me upon my arrival to class, but never thought anything of it. I repeatedly want to ask her out while I was her student, but I didn't want to jeopardize my grade if she took offense to it. She is extremely intelligent and confident, not to mention beautiful. 3 traits that I find incredibly sexy in a woman, even if she is 4 years older than I am. I'm now 27. I want to message her on Facebook with the intent of getting her phone number and perhaps seeing her again one day. However, given the physical distance between the two of us, 200 miles, I realize the odds are against me. How should I go about doing this? Should I even attempt to reconnect with her?
Well, the fastest relationships in my business, being a matchmaker, and Match.com has done statistics on it, especially Plenty of Fish, is that love has no distance, has no miles. So technically speaking, like my mother got married to my stepfather, and they were millions of miles away. She was Jersey, he was Florida. They met on a plane. So when you love someone, you rearrange your life to be with them. Yeah. It might mean she moves to you, or you might move to her. But if you don't take action, you will never know. And isn't love worth it? Isn't love worth the risk? So,
absolutely. So what should he do?
So I think you should email her on Facebook with your best picture, or say to her, I'd love to get your email address and talk offline, because it's so cheesy when you talk on Facebook anyway. Yeah. And this way you can send a really good picture, because most of the times people have terrible pictures up on Facebook. You ever notice that? Mm-hmm. Creepy pictures. Don't show her, your 5 friends getting drunk at the bar, or the 16 dogs you own, or the skywriting thing you just did last weekend. You need to show that classic, good, clean-cut picture of you smiling. And I think if she's interested, she will call. You're only 4 years.
But what is he offering in this message? Because it's not to go hang out, because he's not around the area.
I have to tell you this. When I was your student, I had a major crush on you. I know I'm 27 and you're 32 right now, but I would love to take you out to dinner. How hard is that?
I like that.
Even if
this guy deserves a date if he can't figure this out on his own.
Well, that's why he's writing to us. That's what helps him.
Isn't that what your show does? But anyway,
exactly.
It's going to fall apart right after this.
But I also think that the key to this situation is that he has to learn to get the courage to ask. Even if she says, no, I'm dating someone, or B, I don't feel comfortable, most of the time she might just do it just to catch up and talk about old times. And you might start a friendship before you start a romance. And the only way you're going to do this is if you actually take action. Sitting in your house does nothing. Okay.
Well, we were talking about that before. It does do something if you want to meet the mailman, right?
Yeah.
But how many hot mailmen are there? I haven't seen one.
We were talking about mailman.
I mean, if you want to see the UPS man, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The UPS guy and the FedEx guy, they're hot. Yeah, they're hot.
Hey, ladies, I've been listening for a little over a week now, and I'm hooked. I've been craving some female knowledge. This show is sort of like that big sister I had. That's a compliment, or I never had. My name is Mac, and I'm 23 years old and soon to be finishing school and starting my career path. I recently bumped into an ex. Things went great. We didn't end in a bad way, and there seemed to be something still there. I also just recently broke up with someone that I thought I was in love with, but it turned out we were not right for one another. Do you think it would be really wise to take things further, or is this just desperation after getting out of an ugly relationship for both of us, not just her? Mac.
Okay, why is everything like, oh my God, we're on the line, we got to get married? It's a date. Can I say that on this?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
It's a fucking date, okay? All you're doing is saying, hey, I'm going to buy you dinner or have coffee
and
or
see
drinks
what happens.
And see what happens.
Exactly.
You have no idea what's behind the facade.
I love that they're planning their future.
Oh my God,
this means marriage.
This means marriage, and we're going to have children. We're going to live in X. That's ridiculous. It's just a goddamn date. And the key is when you offer dinner is romance. If you do drinks, okay?
Yeah, it's casual. You're going to see what happens.
Drinks to me is like an audition. When you're a man, you offer dinner because you got to eat. And eating... Breaking bread, reveals itself. Drinks are I'm getting wasted. I'm going to act kooky and crazy. Ooh. Dinner is can I talk?
Yeah,
Dinner is romance. What are you going to have? What am I going to have? Can I share my chocolate pudding with you?
But he's even saying, I don't know what I think yet. So for him, I would say drinks would be the better option because he's not saying, I want romance. He's saying there could be potential for it.
I would go for drinks. I would go to dinner. You have to eat anyway and start. Drinks are cheap. Drinks are cheap. Coffee's even cheaper.
Yeah.
And a lunch is interview because you're rushing. It's like an interview.
Right.
So I think if you say, you know this person, you've already had a relationship with this person, go have dinner. See if there's any rekindling of the flame. If there's not, great. You parted, you caught up. She might know someone for you. You might know someone for her. Get the referral.
I love it.
Just go for apps.
For
What's apps?
Appetizers.
Oh, appetizers.
I was trying to think of like what app they could use, like Tinder. What are you talking about? Okay, so Lee.
And you don't have to go for expensive dinner, by the way. You can go for Mexican.
Casual.
Good old-fashioned Mexican with a margarita goes a long-ass way.
Very true. Okay, so Lee, 33, in New York City here, love the show. Touching on a couple of your recent topics, I get frustrated by some apparent contradictions, which happen to be my constant struggles with dating, and I'm hoping you can clarify. I loved hearing you say that you really want the good guy who just wants to stay home and hang out and cuddle. This is totally me, but you also talk about the friend zone and how the guys who are there are pussies. I'm great at interacting with women, making them laugh, etc., but this always seems to make me the nice guy or friend. Along the same lines, you and everyone else who talks about this stuff always talks about confidence, and again, I'm totally comfortable in my own skin and don't need to pretend to be anything I'm not. So I think that's confidence. Yet again, my type of confidence and personality still seems to always land me in the friend zone. Please help. Thank you so much, Lee.
Okay, what the friend zone is, okay.
The friend zone, it's not really a friend zone.
It's not really a friend zone because it's like you're being
a pussy.
Okay.
You're not asking for what you want.
In other words, okay, so the friend zone to a woman is he didn't make a move.
Yes.
Okay. And that I'm going to friend zone. A friend zone to a man is you didn't make a move. But who's supposed to make the move? The one with the penis. Yes. The penis does the fucking picking.
Because it does the moving.
It does the moving. So the penis has to get hard. The penis has to get hard or a little aroused for me to go, ooh, I want to kiss you. Ooh, I want to touch you. Ooh, I want to smell you. Okay, you're the man. Jump on that. French kiss. Here's my philosophy. When saliva from a man intermingles with a woman, it arouses juicy-goosey downstairs in the woman. Okay, I don't know if you know this. Scientifically proven. Okay? And so he has estrogen. She has estrogen in her saliva, and he has testosterone. They mix. It makes a shidduch, like a blessing in disguise. And so what I need them to do is French kiss, because that will tell the story if you're going to even go on the next date, see each other, talk to each other, text each other, whatever. Most people go for the peck. The peck is for birds. Okay?
Well, they go for the safest
and they go for the holding of the hand. I can't feel wet downstairs if you hold my hand. I might say, oh, this is great, this is nice, it's comfortable, but I'm not going to go, wow, I want to pounce the motherfucker. I'm not going to do that.
Well, we talk about chemistry a lot on this show, because there's a lot of guys who will go out on dates with girls, have a really good time, they'll connect, but the girl will write back the next day saying, I just didn't feel chemistry
because they
you.
didn't have the kiss. The French kiss tells the entire story. Once around the totem pole, once back around, take the tongue, make it smooth, don't be sloppy, don't be a fish,
kind of intimate,
and just go in.
For a first date.
No, Every first date I've ever had where the guy pounced on me with that French kiss, I ended up dating for a very long time, including my boyfriend just now. But it may not be for a dating site. Kiss, because you don't know each other. But for a second date after a dating site kiss, that's the time to do it. Because you don't want to waste any more dates with them anymore.
To get on to that second date, you have to at least express intent. So if you're always taking a back seat and not really leading the date, you're allowing her to lead and you're following along, you can have a very nice connection.
Now, I will give you a safety.
But you're not going to get laid, you're not going to get a girlfriend.
If you've got confidence and can do the French kiss, that's great. But if you need a safety zone, here's what you do. You hug really tight because you've got the muscles and we want to feel the bulge, okay? So hug me tight, then kiss me on the neck in that gentle erroneous spot right by my neck below my ear and let me go. You will watch her melt.
It's a good move.
And it's a perfect move.
All of these things can backfire horribly if the date's not.
But that's the whole thing. You can't think it's going to backfire.
I'm going to slip you the tongue when we split just to see if we've got some kind of chemistry.
We have to wrap up, but I'm gonna add in one final thought to this. Okay, so a lot of guys, because they don't want to, exactly what you just said, it can all be misconstrued. It can all be like taken as the wrong thing. So they don't act on what they really want, which means they take a back seat. They become wimps who don't go after what they want and become friends. I'm doing air quotes. The guys who actually get what they want with women are the ones who put it out there. They put out their intention. They
and to answer this guy's
the reason men are men and the women are women is men have testosterone. Testosterone goes after its prey. It hunts.
Yes.
Okay? It kills and it takes it home. Men who don't do that, men who don't do that are considered feminine energy males. They have estrogen in their bloodstream. They're very passive aggressive. There's theories that there's theories that it's in the plastic bottles of plastic water of water we drink right now. It's in the plastic, and that it's making them diffuse. We don't want that. The more you become beta, the more we become alpha. We need to switch the roles back to the way they were intended. The way the DNA is structured.
And you can still be a nice guy and do that to answer his question.
Yes, exactly, and still be confident.
Oh, yeah. We're not because you kiss me doesn't think you're a jerk.
Right.
I mean, no, because you kiss me, it's like, wow, he liked me.
Right. And
that turns a woman on. When a man turns a woman on, it's because, oh my God, he made it so clear, so easy breezy. There's no complication. He likes me.
He went after what he wants.
And then the next step is like, when am I going to see you more often? You don't have that drama anymore. The drama's gone.
Exactly. And I always say when I am put into my most feminine role, that's when I feel the most attraction.
Exactly.
If I feel like a man, I'm going to
when
walk
I feel
all
like a
over
man,
you
I walk all over you. You're out the door. I've kicked you out.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever see you again. I don't care how hot you are.
Well,
and then you're
that's all the time we have.
And then you're jonesing for me. You're
Exactly.
jonesing for me.
Oh, that's all the time we have. But write your questions into Ask at Ask Women Podcast. Patty, thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me.
being
Appreciate
here.
that.
And Mike, thank you so much for being here.
pleasure.
How do people find you guys?
Okay,
Patty?
you can find me at millionairesclub123.com or go to pattyknows.com. And we are totally giving away free memberships to
awesome.
men as well as women.
Wow,
That's right. We've got
awesome.
Millionaire Assist. Don't be afraid to come jumping into the party. And if you're a millionaire, you know to hook me up with me.
I love
I will
that.
get you
and
hooked up.
Mike, how
And
about
I'm
you?
at lowertheageofconsent.com. MikeCarano.com, CARANO.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for
Thanks.
being on the show. You were wonderful. And thanks for listening to our show. We will see you next week. Download new episodes of the Ask Women podcast every Thursday, or you can actually just subscribe so you don't have to download them manually. They will go onto your phone or your mobile device, whatever you're using to listen to podcasts. It'll happen